Hello, my name's Justin, and welcome to A-Link Tabletops. This is the channel where I like to go over a lot of my thoughts and different kind of internal discussions in regards to D&D, and thought that I wanted to make a little short series for maybe new players to kind of get a better idea of what to do going into their games, their first games actually, before even creating their first characters. And today is actually going to be a video where I discuss what I call the pre-game to-do list. So this will be my interpretation of the things that you as a new player should be doing before you even start creating your character, before you get into session 0. These are the very first things that you'll need to do in order to get into playing D&D. Specifically 5e. We're going to be focusing on 5e for the 5th edition for this video. So to start off with, the very first thing that you definitely need to do, in my opinion, and I know that it kind of sucks to have to read a whole lot to start playing a game, but you need to read the first chapter of the D&D 5e free rules, the basic rules. Thankfully, these are free online, so I'll be leaving a link to them in the video description today. But this would be your best bet in terms of how to understand playing the game before you even start playing. It can be a bit of a slog to get through and read it, but I definitely think that all new players should read through at least the first chapter. You don't even have to read through the whole book. Just the first chapter will give you all the information that you'll need to kind of get started in understanding what the dice mean, what skills are, what your stats are, and how everything is interpreted. It'll also give you an idea of what the player does versus what the DM does, and other things along those lines. So your first thing you're going to want to do is read the first chapter of the D&D 5e free rule book. Again, that'll be linked in the description below. Second thing you're going to want to do is find access to a character sheet. Now, there are many ways you can do this. There is actually a free PDF printout on the DND Beyond website, which is kind of the official website for Wizards of the Coast and their D&D game. And you can fill that out in like a PDF viewer on your computer, or you can even, I believe, fill it out in most web browsers such as Google Chrome, or I use Opera GX. You can actually fill them out and kind of keep track of them on those web browsers as well. Another thing you could do is you can just full on print it out. A printout is, it's old school. That's how the game was played before we had the internet and web pages and PDFs and things like that we can use to keep track of them. But that's going to be another way. And then you could also actually create your own. If some of you are feeling a bit artistic, or like you want to do something a little bit different than maybe some of the other players in your group, you can actually use maybe this PDF as a reference and build your own character sheet, maybe even designing it around the character that you're feeling like you want to build. It'd be completely up to you, but yeah, definitely either filling it out online. You can find websites that allow you to keep track of character sheets. D&D Beyond is a great one. It's an online character sheet that allows you to keep track of everything. You can even roll dice in it, which we'll be getting into in a second. Excuse me. But these are going to be your main ways. You want to print it out, you want to fill it out online, or you want to create your own. But either way, you have to have access to a character sheet of some kind, because that's how you're going to be keeping track of your character as you play. Number three is going to be having access to dice. It's a pretty big cliche surrounding tabletops, but dice are your main mode of play when it comes to playing Dungeons and Dragons. If you're playing Pathfinder, if you're playing other tabletop role-playing games, almost always your main mode of play and main mode of interacting directly with the game is going to be through your dice. Now you can buy physical dice. Like I have my set that I've been playing with for a while right here. This is a nice little felt dice tray as well. It allows you to roll onto the tray. You want a full set if you can get it. This will include a D20, a D12, a D100 set, which if you read through the basic rules, you'll understand exactly how these work. A D8, a D6, and a D4. There are some sets that even have a D3 in them. It's kind of rare. I've never even actually had one myself. Would love one. That'd be interesting. But these are going to be your main mode of interacting with the world that your DM has created or is running for you. There's also a lot of apps that you can use. D&D Beyond, again, has a built-in dice roller while you're actually using your character sheet on D&D Beyond. You can roll dice through that. You can use Google Dice. You can use pretty much any other dice rolling app that you can find. There's plenty of them online or on your phone, but you have to have dice in order to play. Now, 4, you'll need some kind of notebook, whether it be a traditional written notebook and paper, or you can use some type of web-based notebook, such as I use OneNote, Microsoft OneNote for mine. It's also what I use to keep notes on all of my games as a DM, but OneNote is a phenomenal piece of software that you can use to keep track of your notes throughout your games. But a lot of people really like the traditional method of handwriting their notes, my fiance being one of them. She likes having a physical notebook to write in. And finally, number 5 is you want to come to the game with your imagination and a completely open mind. You want to be able to try and really immerse yourself into the world and the game that you're playing. It'll give you the most fun. Make sure you have an open mind. Make sure that you let your imagination run wild while you're playing the game. It's makes the most fun out of it, 100%. It's going to be the make or break factor, I would argue, in whether or not you enjoy the game. Would be how much you allow your imagination to run wild while you're exploring these worlds. So those are the 5 things that I believe every new player should do before they even think about creating their character, before they even get into a session 0 or even their first session. This is your pre-game to-do checklist. Number 1, read through Chapter 1 of the D&D 5e free rules. Number 2, find access to a character sheet. Number 3, find access to dice. 4, you need a notebook. And 5, an open mind and a mind full of imagination. So that's going to be it for this video today. I hope this kind of gave you an idea of what you need to do to get started in the game. If you would like to find any games, such as I've got a new beginners game up on startplaying.games. If you would like to look into joining that, you're more than welcome to. And in the future, of course, I'll have other games that I'll get up and running once some of the games that I'm running currently end. But thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you enjoy your next adventure in the world of D&D and other tabletop adventures. I love you all, and I hope you have a great day.